Welcome to Game 2 of this doubleheader on ACTV. Adrian College versus the Kalamazoo Hornets. Robbie Alexander joined alongside me by my colleague Cody Alexander. Cutting it a little close before then. Some technical difficulties this afternoon, but got it settled just in the nick of time. Bulldogs take game number 1, 1-0. And there's a strike from Game 2 starter Pierce Banks to start this one off. Big swing and miss right there. Quickly 0-2.
Banks has 4 starts on the year so far with a 2-1 record. He's got 1 complete game to his name. Has struggled a little bit. It was a 6.86 ERA, but was able to pick up the win last week against Alma.
Big swing and a miss there. I was mistaken on the first pitch. It was a ball, but so now it is 1-2.
Banks has 22 strikeouts to 12 walks, so a little more control issues than he had as a freshman, but had some promising pitches his last start.
That one looked good right there, but it's just low, and it's 2-2.
Hitter Wiley was 1 for 3 in the last game.
Here's the 2-2. Big swing and miss there. 1 man up, 1 man down as Pierce Banks tosses the chair. First of the afternoon for him. And I'll bring up the designated hitter, Chase Kosselman. You remember he played third base in game number 1. Lining up defensively behind Banks, relatively the same as game 1. We have catcher Frankie Resto throwing down the signs. Hunter Hayes at first base, Brady Wood at second, Dugan Darnell at third, change at shortstop. It is O'Keefe. And then the outfield stays the same. It's Rainey in left, Sharing and Richardson. Rounding it out over in right field.
If you remember on Wednesday, the freshman at short, O'Keefe, did an excellent job. Had a few nice plays in the field. Also drove in 2 runs.
Banks takes a little speed off of that one. It's 1-2. The 1-2. Just misses with that one. 2-2. That one fouled off the facade over above the first base visitors' dugout. Count stays 2-2.
With the win in the first game, Adrian now leads the overall series 107-65.
Like we were discussing earlier in game 1 at the beginning of the broadcast, these 2 teams, I think it's safe to chalk them up as each other's rivals.
Like I said in the first game, they faced each other 7 times alone in the 2017 season. They always seem to be close scores. As we saw in the first game, it was 1-0. A couple years ago in the MIAA tournament, it was a 2-1 score in favor of Kalamazoo. That year they went and got their first regional bid in program history.
Kosselman turning this at bat into a battle. Counts full 3-2.
Nice job by Kosselman. Took a couple close breaking balls on the lower outside part of the plate and able to foul off some tough fastballs.
The 3-2. Big swing and miss there. Second chair tossed in a row for Banks. And he starts his afternoon off on a strong note.
Yeah, it looks like he's got that nice natural movement to his fastball again here today. Hornets not able to hit it, swinging through a lot of them so far.
So up third for Kalamazoo. It's number 17, their left fielder, Stefan LeClaire. Split time between left and first base in game number 1. First pitch from Banks. Fly ball into shallow left. Rainey has it tracked and will make the catch for out number 3. Quick 1-2-3 inning for the Bulldogs. We head to the bottom of the first, scoreless. Keep it tuned right here to MIAA baseball action on your home for all Adrian College Athletics, ACTV. Bottom of the first inning here in game 2 of this Good Friday afternoon doubleheader. And on the mound for Kalamazoo Hornets, it's their ace, Ryan Orr. Coach Ott throwing a bit of a curveball here and saving him for game number 2.
Yeah, we thought he was going to go up against Parsons, a duel of 2 aces, but saving him here to go up against Banks as he throws the first pitch.
High for ball 1. Tag team that call right there.
Yeah. But Orr so far has started 2 games, 3 appearances. He has a 2-1 record, 15 innings pitched. He's got 16 strikeouts to 1 walk, so like Parsons, he has great command of the strike zone. He's got a 2.4 ERA, which is 4th in the MIAA.
That strike finds the black, and from just a couple pitches he's thrown right here, it looks like his fastballs have some good late movement on them.
Definitely one of the toughest pitchers to face all 4 years in the MIAA, or of course is a senior this year.
That ball finds its way out of play. Schering stays alive. It's 1-2.
Now Orr has faced the Bulldogs 7 times in his career. He's made 6 starts, and unlike Parsons, his luck has not quite gone the same way. He has a 1-5 record. He's thrown 37 1/3 innings pitched. He's given up 15 earned runs, 32 strikeouts to 9 walks. And a lot of the games that he's lost have been close games, just games where his offense could not get anything started for him.
Yeah, I know we were talking about last year when it was him and Parsons in that game number 1. The Schering rolls that one foul on the third base line. Really, it was an evenly matched game, and I think it was tight right there until the 5th inning, until a couple hiccups allowed the Bulldogs to take full advantage of it. But like you said, has the capability to win these games for the Hornets as Schering rolls that one over. An easy play for Reuter for out number 1.
Yeah, the first 4 appearances against the Dogs in his career, he had 4 straight complete games, and he only won one of those complete games. That was the 2-1 victory that we were talking about earlier over Parsons in the opener of the 2016 MIAA tournament, which the Hornets went on to win the whole thing.
That ball finds its way to the backstop to left fielder Gunnar Rainey, and that's how he'll start his first at-bat of game number 2. Fires a strike there, evens things up at 1.
Now, Orr, his first 3 years with the Hornets, when he wasn't pitching, would play second base, but only has 5 at-bats so far this year.
Rainey ground ball over to Wiley. Throw on to first. 2 up, 2 down for the Bulldogs.
Of course, we've seen that senior Josh Reuters getting the bulk of the starts there, so Orr has thrown a lot of pitches in his career. This might be a move by Coach Ott to save his arm for his senior year.
There's a first pitch fastball outside to the designated hitter, Chad Paddock. This one manages to find the bottom of the strike zone. It's 1-1.
A little more on Orr, because I did my research last night. We go on and on about Parsons' milestones and where he sits in a lot of categories in Bulldog history. Orr is the Kalamazoo career leader in ERA. He's got a 2.38 career. He's got 22 wins, which is tops. 207 strikeouts coming into this season, which was also tops. And he's tied for first in saves with 8. So not only does he lead in wins, but he's tied for first in program history in saves.
Definitely somebody that Coach Ott can depend on whenever he's on the mound, but he loses Paddock right there. He'll draw the 2-out walk here in the bottom of the first inning.
He also is second in program history in innings pitched. He's thrown 234 coming into this year, and the record at Kalamazoo is 266. So if he keeps getting nods on the bump, he will easily surpass that record. He's got 19 complete games. The record is 21. He's got 3 shutouts, and the record for that at Kalamazoo is 4.
So definitely going to be missed after his senior year, but looking to make the most of it right now. So he has to face a dangerous hitter in Hunter Hayes. So he fouls that one back above the first base dugout. Hayes with that RBI double in the bottom of the 6th inning in game number 1. Ultimately ended up being all the Bulldogs needed as they took it by a score of 1-0. Also singled in his leadoff at-bat that game to finish with 2 hits. And he scorches that one into the right center gap. Grand giving way, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. So Hayes gave it a ride, but just could not find the fence on that one. Bulldogs get a man on first, but can't drive him in. We'll head to the bottom of the top of the 2nd inning. Keep it tuned right here to Bulldog Baseball on ACTV. Welcome back to Bulldog Baseball on ACTV. Top of the 2nd inning, still scoreless. As Pierce Banks gets back to work, colorman Cody Alexander went off on a weird adventure, said something about wanting junior mints. I'm not exactly sure what he meant, but he was in a hurry, dropped the mic as soon as the right fielder caught the ball to end the inning. I told him, you know, you're not going to find many junior mints here, but he was dead set on finding them, so we'll let him go on that little adventure, see what he comes up with. As that off speed misses inside to the first baseman, Connor Grant. High fly ball, Bermuda triangle forming, but Brady Wood will grab on to make the catch for out number 1. It's going to bring up the catcher, Alex Foltz. 0 for 2 in game number 1 with a strikeout. Banks gets a sign from Resto. The first pitch. High, ball 1. So that one finds its way to the backstop. Score update for the Detroit Tigers, 6-4. Tied up by a Miguel Cabrera double. And they still have something cooking with a man on and only 1 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. We got colorman Cody Alexander back in the booth. Cody, did you find those junior mints you were so dead set on finding?
Nah, they were sold out again.
So you struck out with the snow cone last week. No junior mints this week. I think you have to, you know, broaden your taste a little bit. I think a lot of people want junior mints or snow cones on these cold days.
No, I'm a different kind of guy.
That ball skids across home plate, and the count runs to 3-1 on the catcher, Foltz. Pitch from Banks. Hangs high, ball 4. So the Hornets have a man on with 1 out. That's going to bring up second baseman Josh Reuter. 0 for 2 as well in game number 1 with 2 strikeouts. So we were saying Josh Reuter, former member of the Livingston Storm Summer Baseball Club. And from your and mine interactions with him, very strong personality, but also a very nice guy to be around.
And a heck of a ball player, too. A lot of power in that small stature. Likes to put the ball in the air a lot. Coming into today, he had a .8 ground out to fly out ratio.
He definitely puts a lot of work in to his game, and you can't say that he's somebody that just tries to coast by. Every pitch of the game, he's putting 100% into it. Runner on first, 1 out here in the top of the 2nd inning. One from Banks. Big swing and a miss. And a strike down to second base by Resto, but Foltz is safe with the stolen base.
It's like there was some miscommunication there with the Bulldogs middle infielders. Wood taking that throw, but with the defensive alignment that Coach Rainey had on, might have been O'Keefe's to take.
A couple of younger Bulldog players. So takes some time to get used to those coverages and who's going to cover what and when and where, but still not what Coach Rainey wants to see as Reuter fouls that one back, and he has a chance for an early RBI opportunity with a man now in scoring position. Banks checks his man at second. Here's the offering. Curveball that hangs high, and it's 2-2.
Quick update with the Adrian College softball team who took on the Calvin Knights. They dropped the first game by a score of 8-0. The final coming in 5 innings, and they are currently trailing 7-0, and that game is in the bottom of the 4th.
Big swing and miss there by Reuter. Banks tosses another chair, 3rd of the afternoon. They're now 2 down with a man on second base. It's going to bring up the 3rd baseman, Drew Nowitzki, getting the start here in game number 2. First pitch from Banks. At the knee, strike 1.
Nowitzki 6 for 20 on the year. Good for a 300 clip. Has scored 5 runs, has stolen a base.
Here's the 0-1. Ground ball, soft tapper down the first base line, but foul. It's 0-2 now on Nowitzki. Should he keep the inning going, that would bring up the right fielder, Andre Gard, who started game number 1, also 0 for 2. The Hornets only had 3 hits on the day for game number 1. Banks bluffs to second base, keeping Fultz honest over there. So we saw Parsons 2 pickoffs in game number 1. 1 at first base, also 1 at second base. So if you're a Kalamazoo base runner, definitely in the back of your mind whenever a pitcher from Adrian looks over your way. So Nowitzki rolls that one foul down the third baseline. Well, we talked about how the breeze kept switching its mind on what direction it wants to go, but it looks like it stayed its course, blowing from left to right field. And now all of us in the press box are very thankful for that, as we were a little hot up here, getting a nice breeze. And it's very lovely up here. That one misses low.
I don't know if you can tell,
1-2.
but there's a hint of sarcasm in Robbie's voice.
You caught that? You picked that up a little bit?
At least it's not raining.
Very true. You know, Wednesday's night game, there was a bit of mist in the air. Here's a 1-2 from Banks. And he goes fishing but can't connect. Another chair tossed, 4th of the day. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning. 5, 6, 7 due up for the Bulldogs. Keep tuned right here to more MIAA baseball action on ACTV. You always have to let Tristan Richardson's walk-up song play just a little bit before we announce it, at least once a game, because that's one that's going to be in the Adrian College records books. So we start the bottom of the second inning, still scoreless, and that one catches him right in the back of the, I believe that was the left calf, but he wore it like a champion and will take first base to start the inning. He's going to bring up the second baseman, Brady Wood. 1 for 2 in game number 1. So you got the nod over at second base for this doubleheader. First MIAA start of the year for him. And like we said, career day for him Wednesday night. 4 for 6 in that game versus Heidelberg, in which the Bulldogs won by a score of 15-2.
Career day for a couple Bulldogs. As you mentioned, Schering had 5 hits on the day.
Ball misses low and outside. It's 1-1. One from Orr. Brady checks his swing. Checks, appeals to second base umpire, but they say that he held up in time. 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. The pitch. Smoked foul down the first base line. Not a lot of students on campus. It is Easter break, but still not a bad crowd here today for both sides. So we've seen a lot of Kalamazoo Hornet fans make their way out to Adrian. Of course, today's game's originally scheduled to be at Kalamazoo, but they decided to flip-flop this series after a lot of rain came yesterday. There's out number 1 at first base. That will advance Richardson to second. The Bulldogs now have a man in scoring position here with 1 out in the bottom of the second inning.
Not necessarily what he was trying to do, but it's as good as a sac bunt.
It's going to bring up third baseman Dugan Darnell. 1 for 2 in game number 1. Had that double that split the outfielders in the right field gap. It was later stranded on base. Neither team still with a hit. And there's a strike at the knees to start the at-bat.
Now, as we mentioned, Darnell stands right on top of that plate, his toes nearly touching the white of the batter's box. And all day, Kalamazoo pitchers have attacked inside.
Fouls that one out of play, heading out towards 223.
On that double in his first at-bat, Jack Alone left a breaking ball over the middle part of the plate. But a lot of times on inside pitches, it seems like Darnell's jammed himself. So we'll see what he does here against Orr.
Orr must have that noted as he's jamming him with these pitches. That one just misses on the inside, much to the dismay of the Kalamazoo bench. Plate umpire Aaron Woodbury all over that one, though. One ball, 2 strikes on Darnell. Here's the offering from Orr. Checks his swing, misses high, 2-2. Here's the pitch. Off of the foot second hit batter this inning. And the Bulldogs have 2 on now with still only 1 out.
It looked like a breaking ball. That Orr just spun off a little too much.
So with 1 out, that's going to bring up the catcher, Frankie Resto. 0 for 1 in game number 1. You can credit Frankie for making the walk-up songs in the playlist for the baseball team. You see him toil away in the Rush computer lab. I'd say he's made a pretty good playlist. Mixes up a little bit of everything in there.
Definitely has some Latin flair to it. Frankie, of course, hailing from Puerto Rico.
Went to South Miami High School. As we were talking before the game, took him a little bit to adapt to this Michigan cold spring weather. I remember one of the stories you told me was the first really cold practice in the fall season his freshman year. Wasn't used to throwing in the cold and spiked about his first 4 or 5 throws.
Yeah, there was another practice that we had in January right at the start of the spring season. There was snow in the outfield. They kind of plowed the infield, but his hand went numb, in a matter of minutes. A lot of 3 hoppers down to the second base bag.
It's good to see that he's adapted to the cold as he fouls that one back straight towards the press box. I got a flinch from Rizzo. I'm going to use the honor system. I flinched too. Did we get a flinch from Patrick? I didn't see it. He says he didn't flinch. I guess we'll have to take his word for it.
They did. I didn't see it because Rizzo flew back on that one.
That was Laura-esque. Of course, we didn't keep count last year, but I know Laura hit the deck a couple times.
She got better as the season went on.
Nerves of steel. She's now a GA assistant up at Central Michigan University, so those nerves of steel definitely helping her with those college freshmen that she has to teach. One and 2 on Frank Resto. 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Tristan Richardson on second base. Dugan Darnell on first. Both aboard via the hit by pitch. Here's the offering from Orr. Another foul back. This one a little bit higher on the screen, and it remains 1 and 2. Right back up the box. That's going to be knocked down by Wiley. Tries to get Darnell at second base, but no play. A nice piece of hitting there by Frank Resto.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a clean single. But again, another nice stop by the shortstop, Wiley. Unable to get the out at second. But if that ball had gotten through, Richardson most likely would have been sent home, and it could have been a 1-0 game. Instead, bases loaded now.
So 4 waffles in the 3-way toaster. First time this afternoon, and it's Master Chef Sean O'Keefe to the plate as he takes strike number 1 in his quest for the continental breakfast.
It's a good thing, too, because I've been getting hungry today. Was denied brunch at the cafeteria.
Big hack there, and he's quickly in the hole. 0-2.
Go for some waffles.
As you always say, they have the spread out there. Some maple syrup, maybe some fresh berries, nice glass of milk, or maybe some orange juice. Some milk. It's Coach, we'll name drop now. It's Coach Krug down there, debating how to say milk. How to spell milk.
You just said it wrong.
I did it wrong. I did it wrong intentionally. So Keefe takes that one outside. It's 2-2.
I don't know. You slip a few times.
You know, can't make excuses. If I'm called out on it, though, I will intentionally say malk, and I will stick with that until I don't see that person for the rest of the day. Pitch for more. Fouled straight back, and O'Keefe stays alive. You know, as a communication major, you think that I'd have a better vernacular, know how to say words the right way.
For the record, for those of you at home, it is spelled with an I. Correctly pronounced milk.
I'm not an English major, I'll say that much. Breaking ball hangs high, 2-2. But either way you put it, still continental breakfast on the line for the Bulldogs.
Now, are you a skim milk guy? You 2%?
Oh, 2% all the way. He goes fishing. Gets a little nibble on that one, but right into the glove of Fultz for out number 2.
Little fastball there by Orr. Down and away. O'Keefe just not enough bat length there to stay alive.
So still 4 waffles in the 3-way toaster. We head back to the top of the Bulldog lineup. It's center fielder Zach Schering, who grounded out to second base his first time up. That fastball will catch the inside. Black for strike 1. Or steps off and resets.
It'd be big if Schering can drive in a run here with Orr on the mound.
And there's a little flare into center field. Price Stash has it tracked all the way and will make the catch for out number 3. Bulldogs load the bases. Can't drive a man in. We head to the top of the 3rd inning. Still scoreless. Keep tuned right here to Bulldog Baseball on ACTV. Top of the 3rd inning here in game number 2, still scoreless. It's the right fielder Andre Gard to lead things off. We hope you had a chance to grab a glass of either milk, or malk during that break.
I don't think milk is a subjective word. I think there's one way to pronounce it.
I think that's up for debate. I'll stick by my word. There's a drive by Gard into center field. And a nice running catch out there all the way to the warning track. Schering hauls it in for out number 1.
Quick score update in Detroit. The Tigers just gave up 2 runs in the top of the 8th. It is now 6-6 tie.
It's going to be a long couple of years for us Detroit Tiger fans, to say the least. Hopefully they can pull this game off, though.
The Tigers have not lost an opening day contest since 2008.
I believe, wasn't that Miguel Cabrera's first year on the team?
It was. We lost 5-4 in extras to the Kansas City Royals.
Well, the Dodgers lost opening day yesterday. That was their first opening day loss in a while, so it must be a year for the opening day streaks to go down. So there's off speed that misses high, and it's 1-1 on the left fielder, or center fielder, excuse me, Zach Prystash. Pitch from Banks. Swings at that high cheddar and fouls it off on the right side. No car alarms have gone off, though, so still keeping that streak alive at least. I don't think we have a broken windshield yet this year. One ball, two strikes, payoff pitch. Just misses inside. It's 2-2. Prystash 0 for 2 in game number 1, looking for his first hit of the afternoon as he takes a ball high, and it's 3-2. And if you watch the club game on Sunday, it looks like our good friend the Heater has a couple more words to say. Still wants his tryout for play-by-play. That one misses low. Prystash aboard with one out here in the top of the third.
Second straight inning with the one-out walk for Kalamazoo.
So that's going to bring up the leadoff man. It's Jordan Wiley. Struck out his first time up. Banks working from the right side of the rubber as he throws over to first to keep Prystash honest.
It's another Kalamazoo college fact, as I'll be dropping them throughout this game. College was established in 1833 and is among the 100 oldest institutions in the country.
Want to give that year one more time?
1833.
Amazing.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Sometimes the facts just speak for themselves. A 1 on Wiley. Pitch from Banks. Curveball hangs high, 1-1.
Now Banks seems to have one inning in every game so far this year where he gives up a few runs, can't quite work out of trouble. Able to work out of a one-out walk the last inning. But with Orr on the mound, he'll have to keep the Hornets off the board.
Yeah, like we saw in game number 1, no run score until the bottom of the 6th inning. 1 at that point, and it was assisted by that throwing error on a pickoff attempt to first base. So runs are going to be very important this game, as they are always, but especially today when they're going to be limited.
Yeah, they'll come at a premium.
As a pitcher, you have to make sure that you work out of trouble because you're not 100% sure that your team's going to be able to get those back for you. Foul ball almost into the Kalamazoo dugout, but just off the padding. One ball, two strikes. Ground ball through the right side hole, a base hit. Prystash will hold up at second base. And Kalamazoo now has 2 men aboard with 1 out. Nice attempt out there by Wood. Got a glove on it, but just not enough as it ticked off into right field. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Chase Kosselman. Struck out his first time up. There's a pop-up out of play on the right side. Corners playing back for Adrian. Infield, of course, in double play depth. The 0-1 from Banks. Ball high, 1-1. Banks, a lot like Parsons, controlling the tempo of the game, making sure that he takes his time, doesn't rush anything. Is another foul ball out of play. As we always say, mark of a good pitcher, they don't let the game rush them. They keep it within themselves, even when they have trouble brewing on the base paths.
That's what you have to do as a pitcher. When you get into trouble, is you just have to slow things down. A lot of young guys who get runners on tend to rush everything, including their mechanics, and then have trouble finding the strike zone.
Kosselman, defensive swing there. And it's going to be strike number 3 as Banks tosses him the second chair of his afternoon.
A little bender that stays up. A lot of his breaking balls so far today have stayed up, but not enough to drop back into the center of the plate.
5 chairs tossed so far for Banks. 2 outs now in the top of the third. Still 2 men on. It's the left fielder, Stefan LeClaire. He's going to try to scratch across at least 1 run. Kalamazoo still has not found home plate in either game today. Pitch from Banks. Big cut there. It's 0-2.
The junior LeClaire comes from Delray Beach, Florida. Went to Atlantic High School. He's made the MIAA Academic Honor Roll in his first 2 years with the Hornets.
Very nice to see somebody successful off as well as on the field. A foul tip into the glove. 6 chair toss today for Banks. As the Hornets get 2 men on but can't scratch them across, we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning, still scoreless. Keep it tuned right here to Bulldog Baseball on the Adrian College TV. You heard it over the PA. Gunnar Rainey leading things off here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, still scoreless. Pitcher Ryan Orr gets back to work. Both teams with only 1 hit so far. He fires a fastball in there for strike number 1. Just misses, and it's 1-1. One skids across the top of the turf just behind home plate, and it's 2-1. Little flare into right field. That's going to get down the line for a base hit, maybe even more. Rainey heads for second base. Throw from guard. Not in time. Leadoff double for Gunnar Rainey.
Just have a punching that one down the line. He had his head down thinking too, right out of the box.
Nice throw by guard out there in right field, making it closer than I think anybody thought to start that play. Nonetheless, Bulldogs man in scoring position with no outs. It's going to bring up the designated hitter, Chad Paddock. Drew a walk his first time up in game number 2. Curveball hangs high, 1-0. Bulldogs left the bases loaded in the previous inning, so we'll see if they can scratch across their first run for game number 2. Is that one right? Nice diving play by Wiley at short, but he doesn't have a play. Holds Rainey at second at least. The Bulldogs now have 2 men aboard with no outs.
Nice job by Gunnar at second. Ball deep in the hole. Looked like it might have gotten through with any other shortstop there, but Wiley has proven that he can cover ground. So Rainey alertly staying at second base rather than running himself into an out at third.
That's going to bring up the heavy-hitting first baseman Hunter Hayes. Drove in the only run of game number 1. Getting my R's and O's mixed up here. Either way, Hayes takes a strike to start his at-bat. This pitch from Orr. Ground ball. Wiley again with a diving stop, but can't come up with this one. Coach Klotz is going to hold Gunnar at third base, and it's another single for the Bulldogs for the second inning in a row. 4 waffles in the 3-way toaster. It's Master Chef Tristan Richardson. He's going to try to bring in the continental breakfast.
That's what the Bulldogs have to do when they're at their best. They're just finding holes and playing station-to-station baseball.
So second inning in a row that Orr is going to have to work out of a jam. He'll work from the windup. First pitch, big cut there by Richardson for strike 1. Well, you know, they just had to warm up the oven in the last inning. You know, they had to show the fans that we're cooking. It's not ready yet. So we'll see if the waffles are ready in this inning.
Had the table set, but batter wasn't ready quite yet. Had to make sure that they had all the ingredients in the right proportions. That cinnamon, maybe a little nutmeg. Maybe some blueberries, if that's how you like to dress your waffles.
High pop-up on the left side, foul. Will find its way out of play. Richardson with a little bit of a break right there. Hey, do you think there's whipped cream involved with this continental breakfast?
You know, I hope so. If they start churning their legs, they'll get that whipped cream nice and fluffy for the waffle toppings.
You really took a long time to decide whether you wanted whipped cream in this or not. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Richardson. High pop-up. Drifting into center field. Price Stash has it measured. Will make the catch. They're going to send Rainey home. The throw offline and not in time. Sacrifice fly for Tristan Richardson, and the Bulldogs take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the third inning. A small continental breakfast has been made.
A nice try in center field by Price Stash. Throw just a bit offline. With Rainey's speed, he scored semi-easily.
So runners on first and second, one out. And up now is the second baseman, Brady Wood. Or looking to escape this inning with minimal damage. There's a ground ball right to Wiley. He'll flip to second for one. Relay from Reuter. And Wood is safe at first. Bang, bang play, but the Hornets can't turn it. There are now 2 outs with runners in the corners here in the bottom of the third. Looked to be tailor-made for a second, but Wood hustling down the line and just beats that throw out. It's going to bring up third baseman Dugan Darnell. Potential second run 90 feet away. Here's the first pitch from Orr. Big cut there, strike one. At least for a brief moment, the wind has died down. Here's the 0-1. Another big cut there, but misses on that outside fastball. It's 0-2. Darnell hit by a pitch his first time up. Payoff pitch from Orr. That one's fouled back out of play. Wood was running on the pitch. Oh, 2. Ball high. Wood takes off on a delayed steal. No throw from Fultz, and there are now men on second and third. Wood threw off the defense there a little bit. Running on the pitch 2 before this one, and now that one looked like he was going to stay put. As soon as Fultz stood up, he took off.
Yeah, high and outside. The way that Fultz caught that ball would have been difficult to make a throw.
Darnell smashes that one into right field. Guard giving chase towards the corner. And it's a just foul. Had the distance. Instead, it's just another strike as it remains 1-2. Center fielder Price Stash is shaded towards right field, so there's a big hole. And just as I say that, he decides to take a couple steps to the left side.
Still a big hole out there.
2-2 pitch. Another line drive. This one down the line and foul. And we'll start all over again. Jimmy Darnell putting up a battle here in the bottom of the third inning.
Understandable why they have the outfield shading to the right side. Not only is Darnell a lefty, but it seems that the Hornets' plan of attack against him is to pound the inside part of the plate. So should he get around on one, looks like that's where they want him to hit it if he hits it in the air out there.
Instead, Price Stash playing directly behind second base now. Another foul ball by Darnell. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Another foul ball back into the netting. It remains 2-2. Now should Darnell get on base. You just saw the on-deck man run into the frame. That's catcher Frankie Resto. 2-2 pitch for Moore. Right back up to the box and scooped up by Orr. Easy flip to first for out number 3. Bulldogs leave a couple stranded but get a run in. We head to the top of the 4th inning. 1-0 Adrian College. It's the 4, 5, 6 due up for Kalamazoo. Keep it tuned right here to MIAA action on ACTV. Connor Grant steps in to lead things off here in the top of the 4th inning. 1-0 Adrian College.
Leading off the top of the 4th inning for Kalamazoo is first baseman number 23, Connor Grant.
Grant popped out to the second baseman Brady Wood his first time up. First pitch from Banks. Fastball at the knee, strike 1. Pierce Banks, 6 strikeouts so far in 3 innings of work. That ball misses inside. Now I know what you're thinking. That averages out to 2 strikeouts an inning, and it actually has been 2 strikeouts every inning.
For once, your math was right.
It's bound to happen once in a while. Grant fouls that one back. So we've done English today. We've just done a little bit of math.
Had some history with the Kalamazoo College facts.
I think we could squeeze our weather talk into science, or is that too much?
Some meteorology, yes.
All right, we're just hitting all the subjects today. The 1-2 from Banks. Grant gets a piece of it to stay alive.
First baseman from Lake Orion.
One just misses outside, evens it up at 2 apiece. One hit in game number 2 so far for the Hornets. That came in the last inning, a single by shortstop Jordan Wiley. There's a fly ball into center field. Schering tracks to his right to make the catch for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the catcher, Alex Foltz. Walked his first time up, also stole a base. Big swing and a miss there. It's 0-1.
Banks really attacking that top part of the strike zone today.
Another fastball misses outside again. A couple of close calls, but balls, and it's 1-1. Looks like he's right there on those outside pitches, but just can't manage to catch enough of the plate.
Yeah, home plate umpire Aaron Woodbury with the tight zone.
Little nubber over to second base. Hayes will come off the bag, flip to Banks. Bulldogs get him for out number 2.
Nice job by Banks making the banana down there.
Once you let go of the ball, you become a fielder.
The correct thing as a pitcher, you need to cover the first base bag. What you do is you run at the foul line and then come straight up it rather than going straight towards the bag.
It's going to bring up the second baseman, Josh Reuter. Struck out his first time up, and he hits that one down the line, but into the Adrian College bullpen for a long strike number 1. Big cut there as he swings at the high cheddar. It's 0-2. Should he get on base, that'd bring up the third baseman, Drew Nowitzki. And he stands there looking like a house on the side of the road. Strike 3, number 7 on the day for Pierce Banks. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning, 1-0 Bulldogs. Keep it tuned right here for more Adrian College baseball action on ACTV. Eight, 9-1 due up here in the bottom of the 4th inning, which means it is catcher Frank Resto up to bat. And he'll take a first pitch fastball for a strike on the outside corner. Pitch outside, 1-1. Pitch from Orr, ground ball over to Nowitzki, long throw to first, but he'll make it for out number 1. Orr working fast out of the windup, start this 3rd inning. I think all 3 of those pitches only took him about 45 seconds to do so. I'll bring up the shortstop, Sean O'Keefe. Struck out his first time up with the bases loaded. Shows bunt, pulls back, and takes the strike. Cuts at that fastball on the outside part of the plate, and it's quickly 0-2. Orr's loaded the bases 2 innings in a row and has only given up 1 run. That one just misses up. It's 1-2. Runs inside, 2-2. Shadows starting to creep across Nicolay Field here in the later hours of the afternoon. The ball low, it's 2-2 as O'Keefe starts to battle back. Fouls that one up the first base line. Orr will take it himself and make the tag for out number 2.
As we said earlier, Orr with second base experience. Had a lot of time there the last 3 years. Does a nice job of pouncing on that one like a cat, applying the tag to O'Keefe.
2 up, 2 down. We head to the back to the top of the Bulldog lineup. This is center fielder Zach Schering. 0 for 2, the ground out and a fly out so far. Take a first pitch strike there.
Score update from Detroit. Pittsburgh now leads 8-6 in the top of the 9th inning.
Big cut there. It's quickly 0-2.
Both pitchers today really utilizing their breaking ball and having a nice time of finding the zone with it.
Another fastball. That one just misses. 1-2.
Had a lot of hooks to catch their respective opponents off guard in the box.
There's a flare into center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. So Schering is aboard with 2 outs. And in steps left fielder Gunnar Rainey, who led off the 3rd inning with a double and later came around to score. Orr works from the stretch. First pitch through the right side hole, a base hit. Schering's going to hold up at second base. Bulldogs have something cooking with 2 outs. Runners on first and second.
Nice piece of hitting there by Rainey. Reuter shaded towards second to cover a potential steal. And he just finds the hole with that ground ball.
It's going to bring up designated hitter Chad Paddock. Singled his last time up, walked in inning number 1. Trying to extend this Bulldog lead. Ball in the dirt, blocked by Fultz, and it's 1-0. Orr will reset. Here's the 1-0. Up the box. That's going to get through past the diving Wiley for a base hit. Schering's going to score on the close play. Nice throw out there by Priestash, but not in time. The Bulldogs take a 2-0 lead on the RBI single by Chad Paddock.
You'll have to be happy if you're Coach Rainey. 3 straight singles with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. That one right back up the box, and Schering able to score with his speed.
Bulldogs still with runners on first and second. 2 outs. Up is heavy hitting first baseman Hunter Hayes. Not before the Kalamazoo coaching staff will call a quick meeting.
All started with Schering on a 2-strike pitch. Was able to stay back on a breaking ball that didn't have as much movement as we've seen from Orr today. And then Paddock and Rainey just finding holes. And again, Bulldogs doing what they do best on the offensive side of the ball, just playing station-to-station baseball.
Yeah, 7 hits on the day now for Adrian. And they're looking to keep this train moving, as Fultz will retake his position behind the dish. And Hayes will dig in for his third at bat of game number 2. 1 for 2 so far. There's a single and a fly out to right field. First pitch. Ground ball over to Wiley at short. And he'll flip on to Reuter at second for the third out. Not before the Bulldogs scratch across another run. And what has been some gritty baseball here this afternoon. We'll head to the top of the 5th inning, 2-0 Adrian College. And it's the 7-8-9 due up for the Kalamazoo Hornets. Don't you touch that clicker. We'll be back with more baseball on ACTV. Tripping on finesse, it don't make no sense, but we're in the top of the 5th inning nonetheless. 2-0 Bulldogs. And digging into the batter's box now is the third baseman, Drew Nowitzki. Struck out his first time up. And he'll hit that one right back up the middle for a base hit. One pitch, one man aboard. And we'll head back to the 8-hitter. It's the right fielder, Andre Gard, who flew out to Sharing his first time up. Second hit of the afternoon for the Kalamazoo Hornets. This is high. It's 1-0.
A little more Kalamazoo College trivia. So we know that their athletic mascot is the Hornet. Do you know what that Hornet's name is?
It's a strike on the outside corner. You know, I was looking up notes last night, and I actually saw the name, and then I was like, well, he's going to use this for trivia, so I stopped looking it up, and I forgot the name. I'm going to say they're the Hornets. I'm going to say Stingy.
It's a good guess. Do you have any other guesses in the booth?
Or I'll take the EY off, and I'll say just Sting.
It is not Sting. It's actually Buzz the Hornet.
Oh, yep. I remember reading that now. Off for second was Nowitzki, but he'll have to retreat on the foul ball. Now, you forgot to give Heidelberg's mascot's name. They're the student princes, and even though we're not playing them right now, you're pretty bummed that you forgot to throw that in there. So how about you just throw it in for this broadcast?
Yes, the mascot for Heidelberg University is Siggy the Student Prince, which I thought was a very fitting name for a student prince.
Looks like producer Nick Rizzo enjoys that one.
That is Siggy with an S.
Siggy, not Ziggy.
Siggy.
Okay. Does it have a country of origin?
Does not. And if it does, I did not do that in depth of research.
I guess it would be the United States then, if you know. Heidelberg, located in Ohio.
But he's a prince, and we don't have a monarchy here. We, of course, have a democracy. We had some English, we had some math, a little meteorology. Now we're throwing in some government.
I don't think viewers expected a whole day at school today, but it looks like that's what they're going to get.
Oh, we are at a student athletic event. Of course, Adrian proud of their academics as well as their athletics. I'm just doing my best to intertwine the two here at Nicolay Field.
They're doing an excellent job. It's That fastball misses high and count runs full. It's 3-2 on guard. Ovetsky gets his lead over at first base. Banks gets the sign. Throw over. And safe. Here's the pitch. Ball high. He loses him. And the Hornets now have 2 men on with no outs here in the top of the 5th inning.
Now batting center fielder number 34, Zach Price-Dash.
It's going to bring up center fielder Zach Price-Dash. Walked his first time up.
First time Hornets have had 2 aboard today in this game, I should say. It's what we kind of hinted towards earlier, where we get into the 4th and 5th innings of these ball games, and it's usually where Banks runs into trouble. He'll have 1 inning where things just do not come together for him.
We'll see if he can escape the jam here. Corners playing in to guard against the bunt. Wood shaded to the first base bag, leaving a big hole up by second base. Here's the 1-0 pitch showing bunt. He'll get it down the third base line. Banks will take it himself. Long throw. Wood off the bag. So despite a highlight reel attempt by Piers Banks, Kalamazoo now has the bases loaded and nobody out.
This is a heck of a play by Banks with the sliding stop. Falls trying to get up and literally throws while he is falling down. Looked like he might have had him at first base. The throw was there. Wood's just unable to make the stretch.
And even worse news for Adrian College. We are now back to the top of the Kalamazoo Hornets lineup. Shortstop Jordan Wiley up to bat. Singled his last time up. And he's looking to tie things up, if not give them the lead on a big swing. He'll foul that one back to start his at-bat. Ovetsky on third. Guard on second. Price-Dash on first. Infield normal depth. That one misses inside, 1-1. One ball, one strike. Here's the pitch. Fastball sails high and inside. It's 2-1.
Bulldogs have some action in their pen down there. A 2-run lead in the second of 4 games.
And Frankie Resto will call time, go over a bit of a game plan with Banks. And if you're an underclassman pitcher, how valuable is it that you have a senior backstop who's really a great leader in Frankie Resto?
Well, he knows the game. His family's been around it. He's been around it his whole life. He's also a great receiver. Soft hands back there. So whenever you have a catcher back there like Frankie who's leading your game plan, it definitely takes a load off your mind.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Wiley. Kalamazoo Hornets dugout starting to come alive. Here's the pitch. That one hangs high. Count runs full, 3-2.
Just another bender. Tried to find the top of the zone with it.
Three-two pitch. Flicks his bat out on a would-be ball 4. It's going to be a nice sliding catch by Richardson. They're going to throw over to third base. They're going to see if he didn't tag, and they're going to call him out. Novetzky did not tag, according to home plate umpire Aaron Woodbury, in what looked like a dangerous game-changing single. Turns into a double play for Adrian College. 2 outs, runners on first and second. And the Kalamazoo dugout furious right now.
First of all, what an incredible catch by Richardson covering that ground. Full extension dive. Then tried to get the out at second. Kalamazoo gets a warning here. But and somebody's been tossed from the game.
I believe they're saying it's Novetzky. They said the runner on third is ejected. That was Drew Novetzky, third baseman.
And now Ott's going to plead his case.
Only one ejection on the side of Kalamazoo. And we just got confirmation it was number 3, Drew Novetzky. His day is done. 2 outs now. Runners on first and second. Once again, we can't say it enough, dazzling play by Richardson. That's the second one he's made today. He had one in game number 1 to start it with that crashing catch out in the right field corner that brought down the fair pole, and now this.
Yeah, going back to it, tried to double off guard of second, who was in there. And I don't know if it was that he didn't tag or if he tagged and left the bag too soon. But the Bulldog dugout all over that, yelling to throw the ball to third.
There's a ground ball over to Darnell. He'll step on third for out number 3 in what looked like it was going to be a completely game-changing inning for the Hornets. Instead, they leave the bases not loaded, but they leave the score scoreless.
That is huge. Unbelievable.
As you can see, I'm trying to think of words to come up with right now, tossing pencils left and right. What an inning right there.
If you're Pierce Banks, you have to be fired up. Defense coming through there.
So we'll see who takes over at third base. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Me and Cody will regain our composure here because what an inning right there. Bottom of the 5th coming up. Keep it tuned right here to ACTV. Welcome back to Adrian College Bulldog Baseball here on ACTV. Bottom of the 5th inning, 2-0 Adrian College. After a great yet odd inning for the Bulldogs, Hornets load the bases. Double play started by a great catch by Tristan Richardson. Novetsky left third early, was thrown out at third base on the appeal. He was ejected after arguing. So some changes now for Kalamazoo. First of all, we have a new pitcher in John Kunek. Second baseman Josh Reuter moved over to third. So now at second base is number 1, Amani Karim. And up now for the Bulldogs is the right fielder who started the series of odd events, Tristan Richardson. And after that big swing and a miss, he's now down, or he's even in the count, 2-2. It looks like everybody in the press box is trying to figure out what's going on right here.
Yeah, a lot of changes after that, what you said, an odd series of events as Richardson goes down swinging there. But the runner who was called out at third, Novetsky, was tossed from this game by the home plate umpire for arguing. So a few defensive changes. We may have missed one, but if we did, we'll let you know as soon as we find out.
Up now for the Bulldogs at second baseman Brady Wood as he takes that pitch from Kunek low for ball 1. So Ryan Orr's day done after 4 innings pitched. Only gave up 2 runs. Like we said, had some arm troubles at the end of last year, so Coach Ott looking to make sure that he stays fresh for the remainder of the season.
Well, Kunek has thrown 8 innings so far this year in 6 appearances. He has a 1-0 record. Struck out 7 batters, walked 4 for a 2.25 ERA.
We just got confirmation from SID Director Patrick Stewart. All of the changes have been accounted for. So it was Amani Karim at second base. Reuter moves over to third. New pitcher John Kunek. And it's Adrian second baseman Brady Wood who draws the 1-out walk here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So stepping up to bat now is third baseman Dugan Darnell.
That chopper back to the mound, his first time up.
Takes a cut there at that one. It's 0-1. Fouled back to the backstop. It's quickly 0-2. As we saw from his last at-bat, really battles back if he gets in the hole, so you can't count him out right now. And I think that's something we've seen from him in the last 2 years.
See, he chokes up a little bit on that bat for better bat control. And because he's on that plate, he's vulnerable to get jammed, but he also has plate coverage on the outside.
That one just misses outside. It's 1-2. Pitch from Kunek, again outside, evens the count up at 2 apiece. Kunek working the left side of the rubber. Gets to sign the pitch high and outside. And just like we said, Darnell working that count. It's full 3-2.
Quick score update from Detroit. The Tigers have just scored 2 to pull within 2. It is 10-8 with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Runner off for second, swing and a miss for strike 3. But Wood is safe at second base. Stolen base for Wood, puts a runner in scoring position with 2 outs, but Darnell goes down swinging. Now for the Bulldogs, it's catcher Frankie Resto with a 2-out RBI opportunity here. Here's the first pitch to Frankie. Takes a cut there, but can't connect. It's 0-1.
A big cut there. Pulling his head off. Looking like he was looking to put it over the left field wall.
Now with this first swing right there in this at-bat, are you calling a shot?
I don't think this at-bat, but I think a nice single will come his way.
Takes a ball high there. It's 1-1.
Just haven't had that feeling yet to where I could call his home run. But mark my words, he will have one by the end of the year.
I'm just going to leave that there. But we'll hope he gets the single right here. Here's the pitch. Flares that one into right field. Guard has it tracked and will make the catch. So he didn't have to move far for that one. Bulldogs get a man on base, but leave him stranded. We head to the top of the 6th inning. Keep it tuned right here to MIAA Baseball on Adrian College TV. Pierce Banks toes the rubber and gets back to work here in the top of the 6th inning. Leading off is the left fielder, number 17, Stephen LeClaire. Struck out his last time up, also grounded out to Dugan Darnell over at third base. A big cut there on that outside fastball starts his at bat 0-1. Banks working out of trouble, loaded the bases the last inning with no outs, got a big help from his outfielder Tristan Richardson and also a miscue on the part of the Hornets. He fouls that one towards the Kalamazoo dugout. It's 0-2. Payoff pitch from Banks. Pops that one foul. Darnell will look at it, but let it go out of play. Still a couple Bulldog pitchers warming up in the pen, just in case. 9-inning game, so it'd be unusual to see Banks go the distance, especially in this early season game.
Be nice to see him go 6 at least, if not 7.
The 0-2. Bender just misses inside, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Pitch from Banks. Big cut there. Tosses him the chair. And there's one out here in the top of the 6th inning. 8th strikeout of the day for Pierce Banks. He continues to mow down these Hornets. So up now it's the first baseman Connor Grant, 0 for 2 with A pop out to second base and a fly out to Sharing. That one misses low and in for ball 1. Fly ball, shallow left field. O'Keefe camped under it, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. So Grant gets his bat on it, but just misses it.
It's got to feel good if you're Banks. If you're getting into trouble the last inning, getting 2 quick outs here on the top of the 6th.
Now he'll have to face the catcher, Alex Foltz. Grounded out to first base his last time up. Also has a walk to his name in game 2. Pitch just skids off the very top layer of the turf. It's ball 1. Should he get on base, that would bring up the second base turn third base, Josh Reuter. One just misses low. It's 3-0.
Foltz in 2017 led the Hornets in walks. Juniors from Warren, Michigan, went to Sterling Heights Stevenson.
They'll take a strike there. That finds the bottom of the zone, 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Pitch from Banks. Fouled out of play towards the back 40. Those 3 fans are staying strong out on the hill in center field.
Looks like they've got a little wind tent out there.
They're doing it right. I think they should bring that into the press box. I guess a little window when the wind starts to blow in.
I mean, besides the temperatures and the sudden wind changes that like to pick up our papers here in the press box, it's a pretty gorgeous day for some early spring baseball.
Banks pitch misses there for ball 4, so Foltz will draw the 2-out walk. Now I'll bring up Josh Reuter. I can definitely say it's better than last Friday. Last Friday was a little brutal.
It's a little windier. A lot of the time the wind was coming right in here.
Fly ball into center field. Sharing creeps back. We'll pull it in for out number 3. Hornets get a 2-out walk. Can't drive them in. We hit to the bottom of the 6th inning. Still 2-0 Adrian College. Before that, quick score update.
Dixon Machado just hit a game-tying double in Detroit. So it is now 10-10 with 2 outs.
So as tempting as it might be to turn it to that game, make sure you keep it tuned right here to Adrian College Baseball on ACTV, because you'll see the college game, but we'll give you the updates. It's a win-win all around. Stay tuned. Bottom of the 6th inning here in game number 2. Adrian leads by a score of 2-0. Color man Cody Alexander has abandoned his post. When you're as big of Tigers fan as him and they tie the game up in the 9th, I guess we can see where his priorities lie. Looks like the inning just ended, though, as he retreats back to his chair. As shortstop O'Keefe take a strike to start his at-bat. Welcome back to the booth, Cody.
Apologize for my vacancy. Big day today for the Tigers.
Ball low evens things up at 1-1. O'Keefe 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and ground into the pitcher as he sends that one into right field. Guard giving chase. And he'll make the running catch.
Gave it a ride.
Strong swing, but it ends up as out number 1. And we'll head back to the top of the Bulldog lineup. It's center fielder Zach Schering. 1 for 3 on the day. His last at-bat had a single, later scored to make the score 2-0. He's looking to do the same right here. First pitch strike from Kunik. Here's the 0-1. Swinging a drive. This one's heading in the gap, but Guard tracks it back into his left. Another catch there for another out. There's 2 now. I'll bring up the left fielder, Gunnar Rainey. 2 for 3 on the afternoon. A double, a single, and a ground out. Has also scored a run. He'll take off speed, misses high. Starts the at-bat at 1-0. 7 hits on the day for the Bulldogs. 3 hits for the Hornets. Pitch from Kunik inside. As Rainey has to bend out of the way of that one, and it's 2-0. Strike finds the bottom of the zone, 2-1. Another ball creeps inside, 3-1. Some Bulldogs stretching out in the pen, but nobody actively throwing at the moment.
It's a quick inning, the top half for Pierce Banks, so.
Ooh, and Rainey thought he drew the walk. But Woodbury will call him back. It's a strike and makes the count 3-2. So manages to just find that black of the plate.
Yeah, gave his bat a good toss there. Never good for your rapport with the man calling balls and strikes.
That one misses low. So he has to wait an extra pitch, but he'll still be put aboard the ship that is the walk. The Bulldogs have a man on with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. That's going to bring up designated hitter Chad Paddock. RBI single his last time up to extend the score to 2-0, and he'll take a big hack there for strike 1. Another strike there, and Paddock quickly in the hole. It's 0-2. Ball blocked in the turf by Foltz, and it's 1-2.
Pitcher Kunik from Ann Arbor, Michigan, about 45 minutes from Adrian.
And rings him up right there. Caught him looking for strike 3. Bulldogs get a 2-out walk, but leave him there. We'll head to the top of the 7th inning. 2-0 Adrian College. Keep it tuned right here for more MIAA baseball on Adrian College TV. Top of the 7th inning here, game 2 of this Friday afternoon doubleheader, 2-0 Adrian. And it's the second baseman, Amani Kareem, with his first chance of the day. Kareem filling in for Drew Novetzky, who was tossed 2 innings ago. And hooked that one right back up the box. Good start for his day. It's a leadoff single here in the top of the 7th. Pierce Banks still on the mound for the Bulldogs. His next opponent is the right fielder, number 11, Andre Gard. Reached base his last time up, but was stranded. It's a fly ball. Sharon giving chase to the track. Turns around. He'll make the catch for out number 1. Karim will retreat back to first base. A nice running catch there.
Could have been bad having to turn around, but able to track that one in.
So I'll bring up the center fielder, Zach Prystash. Run around first with 1 out. Hornets now 4 hits on the day for them. First pitch from Banks. Popped up on the right side. Hayes tracking it. It'll find its way out of play. It's 0-1. Prystash laid down that sacrifice bunt his last time up. But Wood wasn't able to handle the throw, so he got on. So that ball squeaks through the legs of Resto, but not further enough for Karim to move up to second base. Would that be a pass ball?
It would not, because Karim stayed at first base, but Hornets had an opportunity there to move up to second. But Karim staying put at first base.
Very rarely you see the ball come through the legs of Resto.
Luckily, it didn't skirt too far from him. Only about a foot, and was able to pick it up quickly.
1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out here on the top of the 7th inning. It's the offering from Banks. Up the box. Wood makes a nice stop. Flip to second for 1. Relay. And Woods hangs on with the stretch. Inning-ending double play. And the Bulldogs' defense stellar this afternoon. Score remains 2-0. Time for the 7th inning stretch. We're going to do it in the press box. We hope you all do it at home, and we'll be right back with more Adrian College baseball. 4, 5, 6 due up. Keep it tuned right here to ACTV. Well, we hope you shook off the rust right there in that 7th inning stretch. 2-0 Adrian College, 4, 5, 6 due up. After the inning-ending double play by the Bulldogs. 5th double play turned between the 2 games today. It's Kunig's first pitch at the head of Hunter Hayes. He'll have to duck out of the way for ball 1.
Yeah, nice job by Woods to start that double play in the top half of the inning. A hot shot.
Big cut.
Was able to make the flip to second. Sorry for cutting you off there, Robbie, but
no need to apologize.
Then the nice stretch by the batter, Hayes, to finish it off.
He jammed a little bit right there. Tried to flick it, but can't do it. It's 1-2. This pitch from Kunek. Rings him up on the inside part of the plate. Strike 3. Hunter Hayes is out for number 1. It's going to bring up the right fielder, Tristan Richardson. Didn't play his walk-up song right there. I'm a little bit disappointed. Oh, got a little hint of it right there. Fastball misses outside, 1-0. Another ball further outside, 2-0.
Are you ready for your next piece of Kalamazoo College trivia?
Lay it on me.
What do you think their undergraduate enrollment is?
I'm going to say 1,300. I'm going to say it's a smidge under Adrian.
What about Rizzo? What does he think Kalamazoo's enrollment is?
Now, Rizzo, much like myself, is not great at math. He said 1,100.
Is that your final answers?
Richardson fouls that one off the metal roof. I think a couple fans hit the deck over there. Should we start counting them up for the flinch game?
I think we'll keep it to the booth.
All right.
If we put it to the stands, I'd be running out of room on my paper. Back to the trivia. Kalamazoo's enrollment, according to their website, is 1,436 students. So I would have accepted 1,400 students.
What matters is I beat Rizzo. And that's all I really care about. 3-2 pitch to Richardson. He'll foul that one straight back.
Can you guess what percentage of their student population is a member of their athletics programs?
I'm going to say that it's rivals Adrian. I think ours is about 70%. I'm going to say they're 65%.
Say 67%.
So Robbie said 65. Rizzo said 67. You're both very wrong. About 24% of their student population plays athletics.
Okay. Richardson draws the one-out walk right there. That'll bring up the second baseman, Brady Wood. Once again, I was closer than Rizzo, so I will take that number right there.
Wood walked his last time up, stole second base, but was stranded.
First pitch from Kunek. Hits the inside part of the plate for strike 1.
A little fun trivia will be the second to last one from today. Probably one of the funner ones. One of their alumni is Ty Warner, who was the founder of Ty Inc. Now, do you know what Ty Inc. is famous for? Think back to your childhood.
I was hoping you were going to say Ty Warner Cable. Oh, Ty Inc. That's the Beanie Babies company.
Yep.
Small world.
The Ty Warner founder, company that made Beanie Babies. So Woods fouls that one off. Attended Kalamazoo for 1 year before leaving to pursue an acting career.
An acting career?
Yes.
Not an inventing career.
That was shortly after. But yes, safe to say that the acting career did not work out. He found his money in the toy business.
Now, there was a time when those Beanie Babies were going for a high price.
I actually just saw a story a couple of weeks ago in the Wall Street Journal about how a lot of people put their holdings into Beanie Babies and how they're basically worthless now. So a lot of people invested in Beanie Babies for their retirement plans, and it did not work out as they were hoping.
Well, at least they have some furry companions His time is called. Kunik will fire the pitch anyways. Count remains 0-2 on Wood.
I mean, I think they would settle for retirement, but maybe as a consolation prize.
What you can get is Wood singles that one through the hole, a base hit. Richardson hesitated just a little bit. He'll hold at second, and the Bulldogs now have something cooking with one out. Runners on first and second.
Second time this game that a Bulldog hitter has found the right side hole with the second baseman shading towards second base. This time Karim is playing closer to the bag.
It's going to bring up third baseman Dugan Darnell, who was given pitcher's fits this afternoon. Not so much for getting on base, but for taking them to big counts. There's a first pitch strike from Kunik. Darnell, I believe the last two at-bats, gets in the hole quickly 0-2 and then battles back. Fouls a lot of pitches off, manages to see balls into the glove. The 0-1 inside, evens things up at 1. Kunik gets his sign from Foltz, checks the man at second. The pitch, high and outside, 2-1. Tristan Richardson on second base, Brady Wood on first. Bulldogs trying to extend this lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Another ball high, 3-1, and Kunik now in danger of loading the bases. Foltz will call time to talk to his pitcher.
Well, if you're Coach Ott, you definitely want to see Kunik get out of this situation. With 2 more games in this series, you don't want to go to your pen more than you have to in this game.
On deck for the Bulldogs is the catcher Frankie Resto. Darnell digs back into the box. The 3-1. Ball just low, full. Dugan Darnell draws the walk. And for the 3rd time this afternoon, 4 waffles in the 3-way toaster. It's Master Chef Frank Resto with a chance to make a continental breakfast. But not before Coach Ott will call a meeting at the mound. Now, Cody, we were just talking about you calling Frankie's shots. Are you going to give a verdict right here, or are you just going to let it play out?
I think I'm just going to let this one play out. Because I know if I call his shot and knock on wood, nobody comes in to score, I will face a lot of scrutiny in this press box.
I think we've already faced quite a bit of scrutiny in this press box. So that might be a smart decision on your behalf. We're going to have a pitching change now for Kalamazoo. We'll let this mystery man warm up as we find out who he is and what his stats are. So keep it tuned right here. So we'll be right back with more MIAA baseball action on ACTV. Welcome back to Bulldog Baseball on ACTV. Bottom of the 7th inning. 4 waffles in the 3-way toaster for the Bulldogs. Master Chef Frank Resto going to try to make a continental breakfast, and now on the mound for the Hornets, it's number 44, Garrett Swanson, who took the loss in game number 1.
Yeah, 1 inning pitched in game 1, had 2 hits, and gave up the 1 run. Of course, it was unearned as he threw away a pickoff attempt, allowing the pinch runner Cooper to get all the way to third. And then Hayes with that big double.
Richardson on third, Wood on second, Darnell on first. The pitch, big swing and a miss. It's 1-1.
Yeah, Frankie lifted his head on that pitch right there. Maybe trying to do a little too much.
1 out on Adrian College. Corners drawn in, middle infield and double play depth. Seegers hits soft tapper to third. Ritter charging. He'll get the out at first. No play. Or excuse me, out at home. No play at first. So bases remained loaded, but no runs come in for the Bulldogs, and there are now 2 outs. It's going to bring up the shortstop, Sean O'Keefe. Another chance to be the master chef. Still 4 waffles in the 3-way toaster. And we're still hungry for that continental breakfast. And he's hit by the pitch. 1 waffle will come in to the plate. Bulldogs lead 3-0. And that toaster is still loaded. We head back to the top of the Adrian College lineup. It's center fielder Zach Schering. He has a chance to be a master chef of his own. Now, we heard somebody say they thought the waffles were burnt. It's just very low heat right now. They're just waiting to be served up.
Low and slow, the way to go.
As that pitch misses low, and it's 1-0. A little bit of a rhyming scheme here, keeping things interesting. Swanson gets his sign. Here's the pitch. Bounces off the turf. Folt's able to pick it. It's 2-0. Gunnar Rainey lurking on deck, hoping to get his chance here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the pitch. Inside. And it is quickly 3-0. And Swanson in danger of either walking in or hitting in another run. Having trouble finding the strike zone here in game number 2. The 3-0. That one finds the outer half of the plate. 3-1.
Well, the Hornets came into today walking 56 batters. And their control issues, though not as bad as their stats suggest, have come up at inopportune times today.
And that one finds the outer half of the plate again. Counts full 3-2 with 2 outs. Runners will be off on the pitch. And they're saying he went, hit by the pitch. But Woodbury rings him up instead. And the Bulldogs leave the bases loaded, but not before scoring 1 run. 3-0 as we head to the top of the 8th inning. And it's the top of the lineup due up for the Hornets. We'll see if they can start scratching across some runs. Keep tuned right here to Bulldog Baseball on ACTV. Top of the 8th inning here. Pierce Banks gets back to work. And it's the leadoff man, Jordan Wiley, getting things started. Hornets still have yet to score a run in either game today. And it's becoming crunch time for them. 6 outs to spare, 3 runs to make up. First pitch from Banks. He shows bunt right down the third base line. Banks has the ball thrown, and he's safe as Hayes mixes the pick. Bounces out of his glove for just a moment. And Wiley is aboard with no outs.
Another nice play off the mound from Banks. Quick release. It looked like Hayes had the pick, but ball just escapes his glove for a split second and unable to wrangle it back in.
So up now is the designated hitter, Chase Kosselman. 0 for 3 today so far with 2 strikeouts. And he'll call time. That'll be the 5th hit of the afternoon for the Hornets. And a ground ball past the diving Darnell and into left field. Wiley's going to hold up at second base as Rainey gets the ball in. And the Hornets now have something cooking, 2 men on and nobody out.
Yeah, just a second too slow reaction time on Darnell's part. That ball trickles right past his glove, almost able to make the play. Rainey over to get there in time to hold him to just a single.
So Frankie will call a brief meeting with Banks. Action brewing in the Bulldog pen just in case. And up now is the left fielder, Stephane Leclerc. I'll take a first pitch ball from Banks, 1-0. Banks gets his sign from Resto, checks the runner, the pitch. Finds the outside, 1-1. Scoring update after a reviewed call, but something brewing in the Tigers game. Runners going. Frank throws down to third base. Wiley is safe. 2 stolen bases for the Hornets. And they now have 2 men in scoring position. Still nobody out.
That's Wiley's 20th swipe of the season. Leads the MIAA. Close play there. Resto with the throw right on the bag. But Wiley again showing his speed today.
Leclerc now with a chance to put the Hornets right back in this game. Down by 3. He takes a ball high. 3-1. Here's the pitch. Ball high. The Hornets load the bases with nobody out for the 2nd time today.
Coach Rainey's going to call a mound visit here. We'll see if he wants to stay with the sophomore. He's going to go to the pen.
So Banks' day is done. He'll go into the 8th inning. Bases loaded with nobody out. Finishes with 8 strikeouts. We'll see who's coming in for the Dogs, get his information, and we'll be right back. More Adrian College baseball on ACTV. Welcome back to Bulldog Baseball, top of the 8th inning. Kalamazoo has the bases loaded with nobody out, and now pitching for the Bulldogs, it is Preston Perry. And up now is the first baseman, Connor Grant, looking to at least get in a couple runs, if not start getting the Hornets the tie and then the lead. Score update, Tigers game almost went on a walk-off after a review called out at the plate, and new manager Ron Gardenhire thrown out. The first game of the year. There's a curveball. Frankie can't handle it. Lost it for just a second. Luckily, it ends up in front of the plate.
Yeah, they got crossed up on their signs there. Expecting a fastball, and he drops in a curve.
Perry, the starter on Wednesday versus Heidelberg, he went 2 strong innings. And now, big task given to him by Coach Rainey. Bases loaded and nobody down. Just pitch to Grant. At the knees, 1-1.
Yeah, but Perry's proven that he can get out of jams. In the Sunday matchup versus Alma, he entered the game in the 7th inning with 2 runners on and 1 out. After giving up a walk to load the bases, he induced a pop out and struck out a dangerous Van Acker to preserve the tie.
That one's flicked into center field, the base hit, and it's going to head into the gap. That's going to score at least 2, if not 3. Sharing gets the ball in. And this game quickly becomes close, 3-2 on the single there by Connor Grant. Still nobody out for the Hornets. Now is the catcher Alex Foltz with the tying run 90 feet away.
Yeah, just looked like a little breaking ball there. Down and away. And Grant just doing a nice job of staying back and serving it up into center field.
That's a fly ball down the right field line. Richardson giving chase, sliding grab. Falls for an out. But LeClaire will score easily. 3rd great play today by Richardson. But the Hornets tie the game up. It is now 3-3 in the top of the 8th.
Yeah, not an easy play, as we all know. Here at Nicolay Field, that fence jutting out all of a sudden just puts his body on the line, sliding. If that ball were to fall in, it probably would have bounced over that fence, and there would have been a runner on 2nd and 3rd. So despite tying the ball game, we're in a better position than we would have been.
I'll bring up the 3rd baseman, Josh Reuter, who fouls that first pitch out of play and into the parking lot. 1 out now, runner on 1st. 7 hits in game number 2 now for Kalamazoo. Ball outside, blocked by Resto. It's 1-1. Crowd silent now at Nicolay Field. Reuter lays down a bunt, but it'll go foul down the 3rd base line.
You know, with the excitement in the first game, we couldn't let this game go by without some excitement as well.
Very true. It was only a matter of time. This Hornets lineup very capable of breaking things open. Adrian caught a break the last time they had the bases loaded, but you couldn't expect that it was going to happen twice in a row. Here's the 1-2. Outside, it's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Pitch from Perry. Outside, count runs full. It's now 3-2 on Reuter.
Yeah, Perry's going to have to be careful here. Has some control issues coming into today. He had 9 walks and only 10 1/3 innings pitched. You definitely don't want to put more runners on via the free pass, especially this inning when the momentum has turned towards the Hornets dugout.
He slaps that one through the hole, a base hit. Foltz will hold at second base, and the Hornets continue to string the hits along. They now have 2 men on, still only 1 out. Up now for Kalamazoo. It's the second baseman, Amani Karim. Singled his first time up today.
Now batting number 1, second baseman Amani Karim.
They'll call time right here. So it looks like Kalamazoo is going to get a pinch runner for the catcher, Alex Foltz. It's number 21, Alex Craw.
Now running at second base for Kalamazoo is number 21, Alex Craw.
First pitch from Perry, strike on the outside, 0-1.
Bulldogs still have some action in their bullpen.
Perry checks his man at second, the 0-1 offering. Oh, Bloop stays on the infield. Wood charging. They'll get the out at first, number 2, but the runners both move up into scoring position. Men on second and third with 2 outs. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Andre Gard. It looks like Coach Rainey is going to go back to his bullpen. So Preston Perry's day is done. Keep it tuned right here. We'll be back with more MIAA action. All knotted up at 3 here in the top of the 8th. Tuned right here to ACTV. Still top of the 8th inning here in game number 2 of this Good Friday doubleheader. Knotted up at 3. Runners on second and third, and now pitching for the Bulldogs, it's freshman number 40, Jordan Williams.
Williams has appeared in 4 games so far this year. He's got a 2-0 record with 1 save and 19 innings pitched. He's given up only 4 earned runs. He's got a 1.89 ERA, 19 strikeouts to 8 walks. He was the Game 3 starter in the series versus Alma, so it'll be interesting to see how Coach Rainey uses him after this game.
And that fastball misses inside, so right fielder Andre Gard will start his at-bat 1-0. Go-ahead run 90 feet away at third base. Here's the pitch. Fly ball into right field towards the foul pole. Richardson giving chase. And another catch against the fence. Richardson, have yourself a day. Bulldogs give up 3, but will leave with at least a tie and a chance to make up the lead to the bottom of the 8th inning, 3-3. Keep it tuned right here to Bulldog Baseball on ACTV. Bottom of the 8th inning here in game number 2, all knotted up at 3. After the Hornets load the bases and drive some guys in. A couple defensive changes for Kalamazoo. Alex Crott stays in the game. He'll take over in left field. Stephon LeClaire will move over to first base, and now pitching for the Hornets, it's number 48, Ryan Franklin. And he'll have to face the left fielder, Gunnar Rainey. Fires a strike to him to start his day.
Franklin, one of the better Hornet pitchers so far this year in 3 starts. He only has an 0-2 record, but he has 19 strikeouts, which leads the team. It's 10 walks, so again, some control issues. But he's got a 2.87 ERA, so Hornets definitely pulling out their big guns, trying to take this game from the Bulldogs.
He has Rainey quickly in the hole, 0-2. Payoff pitch outside, 1-2. Eight hits for both teams this afternoon. Another ball high, 2-2. Pitch from Franklin. Hits that one into right field. Guard giving chase towards the line. And it's just off the top of the fence, so Rainey will stay alive. Two balls, two strikes on Gunner. There's the offering. Another one. This slapped into the parking lot. Still no car alarms. That's a good first sign. Got to make sure those are insured if you drive out to a baseball game. The 2-2. Slaps that one into right field. Guard has it tracked. Few steps to his right. We'll haul it in for out number 1. So up now for the Bulldogs, it's designated hitter Chad Paddock. Try to get something started out with 1 out, bottom of the 8th. First pitch from Franklin. Low, ball 1.
Paddock 2 for 3 today with a couple singles. So a walk.
There's a strike inside half of the plate. It's 1-1. Stops that one. Off the glove of Reuter at third base. Nice diving attempt, but Paddock is aboard with 1 out.
Yeah, gets out in front of that breaking ball that hung up there, but hits it hard. Reuter almost with the fantastic play, just not able to keep it in the glove.
So up now is the first baseman, Hunter Hayes. Try to keep the train rolling, but not before Coach Rainey. Looks like he's going to put a pinch runner in for Paddock. Let's see who it is. Number 29. That's Justin Schuer, a freshman out of Clinton Township. Franklin's first pitch to Hayes. Fly ball into center field. Price dash, track, wall looking up. And he makes the catch, crashing against the wall. Shire will have to retreat back to first base. And Hayes puts a charge into it, but it's a long out number 2.
Yeah, looked like it had a chance, but picked the wrong part of the ballpark to hit it to. And Price dash with the speed able to track it down.
That's going to bring up the right fielder, Tristan Richardson. 2 outs now, man on first. Pitch from Franklin. Catches the outside corner for strike 1. For a second there, I thought that was going to give us a 2-run lead. That looked really good off the bat.
Just happened to hit it to the deepest part of the park.
Richardson fouls that one back. Quickly in the hole now, 0-2.
Quick score update from Detroit. Is still tied at 10 apiece going into the 12th inning.
Oh, 2 pitch. Another foul back out of play. Shire will have to retreat back to first base. Tigers 11 runs left on base so far today.
Hopefully it's not a sign of things to come. Of course, the Tigers not expected to compete for a title this year. They're in rebuilding mode.
Breaking ball hangs high, 1-2. Brady Wood on deck. If we can keep the inning going. Here's the offering from Franklin. Ground ball fouled towards the Kalamazoo dugout. A few hands shot out, but nobody came up with the ball. Always got to look alive down there. One ball, two strikes. The pitch. Another foul ball. This one heads out towards 223. You think they've ever hit a foul ball all the way out to 223?
I would be surprised if they did. It's quite a ways out there. There's some trees, some roughage it's got to get through.
I feel like somebody might have it in them.
Well, if they're going to hit it that far, they might as well hit it over the fence for a home run.
I mean, that would be the ideal case. The 1-2, Shire off, and there's a single into right field for Richardson. Shire hits second on the way to third. The throw from Guard on the money, but Bruder can't get the tag down in time. Close play down at third, but the Dogs have runners on the corners with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th.
Strong throw by Gart. And like Robbie said, it looked like Shire had been thrown out at third, but able to slide in under the tag. The Bulldogs have a 2-out rally going here in the 8th inning.
They'll draw a mound meeting from Coach Ott. Up now for the Bulldogs, Brady Wood. Go-ahead run now 90 feet away. As we reach the later innings of today's second game. Happy Good Friday to everybody out there watching. Robbie Alexander here with Cody Alexander. Thanks for joining us today.
2 outs here. Wood with a little speed. Reuter not playing even with the bag. He's actually playing a bit back. You think they would try to have him do a suicide for a base hit?
It's hard to tell, but you never know what's up Coach Rainey's sleeve. The 0-1 from Franklin, low. It's 1-1.
Because with Reuter playing back, if he was able to get that bunt down the third baseline in the right spot, he could probably beat it out for a base hit and an RBI.
The 1-1. Up the middle, that's going to be a base hit. Shire's going to score. Adrian takes the lead on the RBI single by Brady Wood. 4-3 here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
I'll take that over a bunt any day. Right back up the box. And now there's some action as Richardson kind of straight off the bag.
Well, he's going to be safe at second. Ball rolls in the outfield, but not further enough. In the oddities today, just keep going.
It's like the ball was not called dead with nobody at third base. Don't know if he was trying to take the extra base or if he was confused about the situation, but luckily he was able to get back into second.
Bulldogs still have 2 men on, first and second with 2 outs. And they'll keep trying to extend this lead. 11 hits on the afternoon now. And just like in game 1, they take a lead in the second to last inning. Darnell will take a strike on the outer half of the plate. Definitely would like to see a couple more runs scored here before we head to the top of the 9th. There's the 0-1 from Franklin. Up high, it's 1-1.
Definitely got to be happy if you're Coach Rainey. Putting Wood in at second for the start, his first 2 conference starts of the year. And coming through in a big way here.
1-1. There's a line drive down the line, and fair ball. Richardson's going to score. Wood's going to head to third, but they are now calling it a double.
Bounced over that fence.
So 1 run will score. Wood will have to hold that third, but the Bulldogs now lead by 2. It is 5-3.
Like we said earlier, that fence jags out. And Richardson made a play earlier in the game that if it had dropped, it probably would have bounced, and that's what happened right there. Darnell just dumping it down the right field line, and it was hopping over that fence that just juts right into the right side foul line.
Still 2 men in scoring position for the Bulldogs. 2 outs here. And it's catcher Frankie Resto who's going to try to extend the lead. He'll take a fastball outside to start this at-bat 1-0. Pitch from Franklin. Fouled out of play. I think that one was towards our golf cart. It was sputtering a little bit on the way up here from the media production house, so maybe a foul ball or two, might get it going again. A little creative engineering right there. Resto right through the left field hole. That's going to score at least 1. Darnell is going to try to score from second. The throw safe at the plate. 2 RBI single for Frankie Resto, and the Bulldogs now lead 7-3.
Station to station baseball once again for the Bulldogs. As Resto gets the big knock here. And again, the Dogs have shown their resiliency in big games.
So it's shortstop Sean O'Keefe now going to try to keep the 2-out train rolling as he'll take the bender in there for strike 1. Well, Frankie has been making contact all day, just keeps hitting it right towards the infielders. Another strong attempt by Wiley, but manages to finally find a hole as O'Keefe sends a flare into right field. Guard giving chase. A few steps back. He'll haul it in for out number 3, but not before the Bulldogs score 4 runs to take a 7-3 lead. Last call for the Kalamazoo Hornets here in Game 2. Top of the 9th coming up. Keep it tuned right here to MIAA Baseball on your home for Adrian College Athletics, ACTV. Time to pay the piper if you're the Kalamazoo Hornets, down 7-3 as we come to the top of the 9th inning. Jordan Williams going for the 6-out save here. A pinch, excuse me. That's Zach Prystash. It's a fly ball caught by Brady Wood in shallow right field for out number 1. Had my wrong score sheet up right there. But speaking of scoring, Cody has a scoring update.
The pinch runner for Paddock in the previous inning was originally announced as Justin Shire, a freshman, We were corrected. It was actually Spencer Lash who ran for Paddock and scored on the Woods single. So that is Spencer Lash who scored, also a freshman.
Up now it's the top of the lineup for Kalamazoo at shortstop Jordan Wiley. He's had a great game both defensively and offensively. Trying to give the Hornets some late life here in game number 2. Here's the 1-1 from Williams. He shows bunt, pulls back, and that one will just miss on the outside corner. It's 2-1. Pitch from Williams. Fouled straight back into the parking lot. And I guarantee you that one hit a car. We might not hear an alarm, but...
Well, I know Senior Guck likes to park his truck right behind the press box, so we'll have to see if it has any damage after this game.
Might have to teach him a lesson. He's made it three plus years, though, so... And gets Wiley looking with the bender as he watches that one like a house on the side of the road. Tosses in the chair for out number 2. So Hornets down to their last out. It's the designated hitter, Chase Kosselman. As he hits that one right back up the box. Diving stop by O'Keefe. Throw to first. Thrown away. They'll hold that first, but it's a 2-out base runner for the Hornets. We'll see if that's called a hit or an error. Nice stop there by O'Keefe, but just couldn't make the throw.
Yeah, it'll be a hit. Kosselman passed the bag by the time the throw even got to Hunter. O'Keefe probably better off to just hold the ball, but luckily it did not get far enough away. So only a man on first with 2 outs.
Hornets have life. It's LeClaire up to bat now. He'll take a ball outside. Williams gets this sign from Frankie. The pitch outside. Manages to find the black of the plate for strike 1. Bulldogs 4-run lead. Hayes not holding Kosselman over at first. There's a blocked ball there by Frankie. Makes the count 1-1.
Yeah, 4 runs and 2 outs here. Kosselman at first does not mean that much to the Bulldogs right now. Would rather get the hitter in LeClaire.
Runner takes off. Uncontested swipe of second base. And it's a strike to LeClaire. Kalamazoo down to their final strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 7-3, Adrian College. Here in game number 2, the pitch from Williams. Rings him up on the inside corner, stands there like a house on the side of the road. Second chair toss this afternoon, and the Bulldogs sweep today's doubleheader. Game 2 by a score of 7-3.
Couldn't have asked for 2 better Good Friday games. Dogs gutting this one out. I don't know what to say. Just good baseball today. Definitely what you want to see coming in to the next 2 games of this series. And Robbie, I don't know what else to say. They just played good, solid baseball today.
Yeah, gritty baseball. This team looks like they're starting to come into their own. I'm not going to lie, that Alma series, they look like they were pressing just a bit. Obviously missing some big players from last year. It looks like they're starting to find their stride, figure out their playing style, stringing together hits, making solid defensive plays. 5 double plays today, and stellar pitching, first by Tommy Parsons, and then by number 2 pitcher Banks. 8 strikeouts on the day. He was a master carpenter out there.
Yeah, definitely a good sign, Banks. Not the strongest start coming out of the game, but putting up 8 innings of pretty much scoreless baseball. That's got to feel good, especially as you start moving into the meat of your MIAA schedule.
And against rival Kalamazoo, I don't think you can get two sweeter wins than that.
It'll be interesting to see what both teams do tomorrow. The Dogs turn to Williams, who was the Game 3 starter in the Alma series, and then the Hornets turning to Franklin late in the game, who has been one of their big starters this year. So we'll see if they throw them back in the starting role or if they'll see more innings in relief.
Well, that will do it for today's Good Friday doubleheader. Take game 1 by a score of 1-0. Game number 2, 7-3. Next NCAA baseball action will be Sunday as they take on Olivet. That game at 1 and 3:30. But until then, thank you for joining me and Cody on the call, our producer Nick Rizzo, and everybody else in the press box. Have a good Friday and an even better Easter. Until next time, this has been Adrian College Baseball on ACTV.